My great-grandfather, Stewart, came here as a young man. He was 30, in his early 30s when he established Stewart Monumental Works and began to make grave markers and whatnot for the big cemeteries. Even though he was a businessman, he was active in the community. He became mayor during the First World War. He was a finance minister in the provincial government, but he was a community volunteer as well, very dedicated. That translated to all the members of the family. When I look at their obituaries, they were well-regarded people in the community, but it mentioned their volunteerism. And that's the message that was always in the family. I saw them out doing things. I was taken along to do things, and that shaped who I became, that you give back to the community. And Victoria's a community I love. My mother's father was a doctor here in Victoria, Reginald Ryde. He was a beloved doctor and surgeon, and I was so lucky to have him. He lived a great long life, so he was present in my life, and I saw his love of his patients. The work that he did in the community, he was very active in Rotary. He would take us to the Rotary Christmas lunch for children. He was active. He helped set up Goodwill. He was very active volunteering Shriners and whatnot. I saw firsthand how he cared for people through his calling to medicine, but then in his spare hours, he was also doing volunteer work and very involved in that. It just becomes who you are. When I was young and a student here in Victoria at UVic, I volunteered with the crisis agency, the crisis line. That was my first volunteer gig, and I loved it. It was very rewarding knowing that you could help people. I think you can see the power of that. So you can volunteer and help that way. But if you have a will and an estate, then just 1%. You can look after your family members and make them happy and live as a memory to them. But then you can also give back to your community, give to services that your neighbors, your family, your loved ones use, or things that were hobbies. This really helps the community at a time when it's difficult for charities to thrive because of financial constraints and lack of volunteers. When I decided to update my will and really give serious thought to what I wanted to do with an inheritance that I recently received from my father, I thought I need to think ahead of what my plans are. And I began to really think seriously about where I would invest those funds. The environmental cause is really important because we are losing habitat for birds and wildlife, and I particularly enjoy photographing birds. I feel really passionate about the protection of unique lands in BC, so I've chosen charities that are doing that, both in BC and nationally. My gran was a single mother, and I really understand the challenges that single parents face and feel strongly that if they can get some support for books and tuition, get their education, they'll do better and their family will do better. I love what you folks do, reaching out in so many different ways throughout the community. And it's also the community that is my home, was my family's home, the Stewart family. When I was born, I was a fourth generation Victoria resident. This community just means so much to me, and it just seemed right. It's where I was born, educated, lived and worked for a while, and will come back at my final resting place. And it was only natural that what Victoria gave to my family should also come back through me.